A major issue that the U.S. is facing today is the misuse and overuse of technology. According to Gail and the article It Terrifies Me, those social media sites and what would come later, TikTok, fueled the overuse and misuse of technology, especially among school-age kids. This means that people are facing the misuse and overuse of technology through apps like TikTok. This is important because it says that tech overuse is happening because of media sites and is impacting school-age kids like us. Another article from Gale and called Unraveling, Time to Unplug, said the reason we ask people to stay off what they're going to do when they unplug is due to the feedback we had in previous years. I turned my phone off, now what? People just didn't know what to do without their devices. This means that technology is taking over people's lives and making them forget what they used to do in their free time when there was no tech. This is important because technology overuse is taking over people's lives and is brainwashing them. This is affecting the U.S. in many different ways, and some of them are kids not able to be talking to each other and not having human interactions. Another example is how most things that used to be done face-to-face are now becoming online. A source from Gale called We Know What Social Media is Doing to Us, How to Reclaim Our Focus, says, for many members of Gen Z, most of our human interactions, everything from dating to brainstorming client strategies, now happens at least partially online. This means that many people in the U.S. are doing many things that used to be human to human, at least partially online, and on an electronic device. This is important because tech overuse is making many human interactions online. Another source from Gale called It Terrifies Me is saying, walk into a school and you often see kids at a table together, all on their phones, not talking to each other. This means that many of the kids who go to schools are spending all the time that they can on their phone without any conversation. This is important because lots of kids at school who are trying to use their phone all the time and are getting addicted to them. Most people feel that people should take a break from technology so they don't go down a mental health hole. An article from Gale called Time to Unplug says, I'm obviously not saying let's lose technology, but it's worth thinking about unplugging sometimes. This means that the people feel they should be unplugging and stepping away from electronics. This is important because it will stop tech overuse. The next article called It Terrifies Me, also from Gale, says, but she has grave concerns that many kids in current generation are using technology in ways that are driving them into a mental health hole that will prevent them from reaching their true potential and academically and personality. This means that the woman is concerned that kids are spending way too much time on using technology. This is driving them into a mental health problem that is not letting them achieve their true potential. This is important because people's health are getting greatly affected by misusing tech. The other side feels that there shouldn't be an anti-tech overuse movement because the other side is profiting off of people using technology too much. The other side is mainly made up of big companies that get money from people using technology too much. An article called Controlling Your Uncontrollable Addiction to Tech from Gale says, this analogy is double puzzling. First, Bernstein is comparing Facebook's newsfeed, which she thinks makes the platform too appealing, with black and white broadcasting, which she thinks made TV less appealing. Second, it was the Israeli government, not a private business, that erased color, and it was rebellious viewers aided by clever entrepreneurs who restored it. There is a lesson there about misguided government meddling, but it's clearly not the one that Bernstein has learned. This means that the sources against banning tech overuse because they are accusing Bernstein for not understanding how government works, and the sources also overcomplicating Bernstein's argument by looping it over and over again, and twisting her words. This is important because it shows that people are against the anti-tech overuse movement and they are trying to defame others. Another article called How Tech Companies Are Addressing Screen Addiction from Gale says, from app developers to tech behemoths such as Google and Facebook, companies have spent years working to make consumer technology as addictive as possible. After all, time spent with their products could equal big bucks for the company. This means that most of the people that are against the anti-tech overuse movement are big companies that are profiting over people using the technology too much. This is important because people with money can easily overshadow tiny people, and people with money can easily persuade more people. I feel that more features like digital well-being and movements like unplugging should continue because they're really impactful and powerful and are making people stop overusing and misusing tech. An article called How Tech Companies Are Addressing Screen Addiction from Gale says Google has included similar tools in the upcoming version of Android Pie that is dubbed Digital Wellbeing, which is currently in beta testing. The tools offered by Apple and Google are almost mirror images of one another, but Google goes a bit deeper than Apple. For instance, the app icon is grayed out once the user hit their limit, and to get around the app limit, users have to open the dashboard to manually remove it, as opposed to simply clicking the Ignore pop-up with iOS 12. Google also offers a wind-down feature to set up bedtime, which automatically puts the phone into Do Not Disturb and puts the entire screen in grayscale mode. No notifications will show up on your phone, and losing all color on screen is certainly an incentive to put your phone away. This means that Google is developing a feature called Digital Wellbeing, which is a feature that will lock apps once you reach a certain time limit on the app. And when it is time for bed, your phone will automatically enter Do Not Disturb and Grace mode so you don't use it. This is important because it is reducing tech overuse. The next article, Tech Overuse, Is It Time to Unplug?, also by Gale, is saying that, but some people are unplugging to preserve tech-free aspects of society. This means that some people want to preserve the tech-free parts of society, so they are unplugging. This is important because it is reducing tech misuse.